The truth about being alone is that you will never be able to fully be happy and fully be free until you learn how to be alone, bro. Listen up, bro. For the people that have been with me and have been day ones on my channel, you know that the theme on this channel is, in order to find yourself, you must go within. And in order to go within, you must free yourself mentally from the shackles that we have all placed on ourselves. Because everyone wants to be rich, everyone wants to be successful, everyone wants to have all these accolades and things of that sort. But when those things are no longer important, right, you start to come back to reality where it's just you in this grand scheme of the universe. So your job, your family, all of these different things, right? You realize that none of these things have control over you. I know people personally who feel as if they can't be the greatest person that they can be because their family says they have to be what they want them to be. And I know people who say they can't leave their job because they're so scared of things going to shit or taking a risk or actually stepping into a new blessing, bro. We've been so indoctrinated to feel that taking a leap of faith is a negative. Focusing on our mental health, on our physical health, on our spiritual health is a negative, right? You know what I'm saying? Like in this culture that we live in, all you see is sin. And specifically, bro, I'm not even religious, but if you look at the world in its worldly view, everything that's being pushed upon young men, everything that's being pushed upon young women is an agenda. So when you take yourself out of that mix and now you're just being the observer, you start to realize that you've already won. So when God does isolate you, right? When the universe places you in specific parts of time, because once again, time is an illusion, but at the same time, nothing is a coincidence. So anytime that you meet someone and you help them, anytime that you may meet a future partner, or you may be in a certain space and you're able to get knowledge from someone, or they're able to put a gem upon you or offer you something that is bettering you and can change your life, there's no coincidence in that, bro. So when you take your vocal point off of, I just want what the world wants me to have. I just want what my family wants me to have. I just want what my girl and my homies want me to have. You start to realize that you've never asked yourself, who do I want to be? You've never asked yourself, what do I want to offer? When it's all said and done, what do I want people to remember me as? Do I want to be remembered for being a people pleaser? Do I want to be remembered for just being a pushover? Do I want to be remembered for just having no self-respect? What do I want to be remembered as, bro? Because that in itself is the most important thing. That's more important than driving a Lamborghini. That's more important than having $1 million in the bank. That's more important than having the most beautiful woman. And that's more important than having anything this world can offer, bro. Having a conversation with self to be able to recognize self. See, a lot of times when we learn new things in books, when we go travel and experience new cultures and things of that sort, we're just remembering, right? Because once again, a lot of us have been here before. Trust me, if you're watching my videos, 9 times out of 10, you've been here before, bro. So what I'm saying to you is like, damn, your DNA recognizes the words that's coming out my mouth because it's just frequency. Words is just vibration. So this is frequency. I'm saying things at a rate where your cells can recognize what the fuck I'm saying. So that's why when you listen to music, you resonate with the sound, you resonate with the words and things of that sort. It's all synchronization and it all cohesively works together. So now what's happening is you may be watching my videos in the beginning of your spiritual journey. You may be watching my videos right in the aspect of you jumping out of that spiritual psychosis phase where you're remembering all of these things that you've already known, where you think you're learning all of this new knowledge, but in all actuality, you're just unpacking, you know what I'm saying? Unlocking your own DNA, bro. You feel me? Because it's always been there. You're just remembering who you are. And this is why you see a lot of people say, they'll be like, bro, it's always been in you. Nothing outside of you brings value. You bring value to the outside world. So this is what I mean when I say, bro, a lot of you guys are wondering why you're in a season of loneliness. And when I mean a season of loneliness, you're in a season of elevation. It's like anything that's on your mind is grind, hustle, focus, gym, healthy diet, reading, content. Or if you don't do content, you know what I'm saying, you working. If you're not working, you know, you're working on your business, you're working on getting clients, you're working on products, you're working on things that can create value, because you're starting to realize, holy shit, I was never really supposed to be working a job because I'm not a slave. Oh shit, I was never really supposed to be around people that don't appreciate me, but this was a valuable lesson. Oh shit, I was never supposed to be eating these certain foods because these certain foods are causing these literal foods are causing a disarray in my body and bringing all about these, you feel me, preventative mechanisms that we call diseases, when diseases are a lot of times helping you rather than hurting you. You know what I'm saying? When you get sick and you have mucus come about and you're stuffed up, that's your mucus membrane protecting you from pathogens and things that's going on inside of your body. So a lot of times, once again, your body is activating certain things always to help you, but you have to help yourself. And this is what I mean when I say, bro, you should never be sad that you're alone. Because growing up, right, we always used to hear, oh, if you're alone, you're weak. If you're alone, you can't get it done. If you're alone, then somehow, some way, you're easy to be defeated. But what if that was just a psyop, right? What if the whole aspect of you being in the crowd, right? You going to college, you going to all these parties, getting drunk, getting high, you sleeping with all these women, you having this so-called worldly experience, right, was just a psyop to keep you in the loop so you was never able to unplug. See, bro, the main reason why a lot of people are in the matrix right now and they're not able to get out of it is because they have yet to unplug. When you start hearing things, right, and start realizing that, oh my God, like, I'm alone right now. You gotta go get high. You gotta go get drunk. You gotta go to a party. You gotta go outside. You gotta go to some form of event to, you feel me, not actually sit with yourself. Bro, the most prevalent and most important thing we can do as human beings is being able to be alone. Being able to be by ourselves, being able to connect with self, being able to connect with the earth, being able to be the highest version of ourselves. This is why we are the most important people on the planet. This is why we bring the most value to the world. And this is why we give so many offerings to this thing that we call earth, because we're spreading truth. We're spreading light. We're raising consciousness. So that's what I said when I was saying earlier, that a lot of things that I'm saying is just you remembering, you feel me, either from your past life, you feel me, from something that you already know. Like, bro, our different life paths puts us in different situations where we're already gifted at a specific thing. We just don't even know it yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my crazy thing that I try to get across to people is like, when you go through this life and you just feel like you're just all alone, you ain't got nobody, you're always just by yourself, bro, you have to realize that that is a blessing. You have to realize that that shit is a blessing, bro, because once again, imagine if you are around all these people. Imagine if you were still in the crowd, right? If you were still in the world and you were never able to unplug and you were never able to truly find you. Imagine dying, right? Imagine you taking your last breath, not knowing who the fuck you were. Imagine taking your last breath, not being the highest version of yourself. Imagine taking your last breath, not accomplishing what you wanted to accomplish on this earth. When everything in this life, because we sign a spiritual agreement before we get here. We pick our parents, we pick our family, we pick our purpose and what we're going to do. We just have to follow the assignment. Now, a lot of people stray off the path and don't do that, and you see how their life turns out. But if you just follow your origin story, meaning you do exactly what you need to do, everybody knows exactly what they need to be doing. You may think that you don't know what to do, but I promise you, you know exactly what you need to do. You just got to stop second guessing yourself. You know exactly the kind of rooms you need to be in. You just got to stop second guessing yourself. You know exactly what kind of life you want. You just got to stop second guessing yourself. So this is why you feel like you're lowered in a sense of state of frequency when you're around a woman that isn't conducive to your purpose. This is why you feel like you're getting drained when you have conversations with people that's not aligned with something that you either care about or something that you're doing and you love. This is why you feel drained when you go to work and you're around these different people, because it's a spiritual warfare, and this is all by design. So once again, bro, for the people that's coming in to themselves, for the people that's learning themselves, for the people that's going on this journey of just overall spiritual enlightenment, I need you to know that this is going to be one of the most beautiful, one of the most painful, and one of the most exhilarating experiences that you ever have in your life, because this is you becoming you. You don't become you when you make a certain amount of money. You don't become you when you get a certain amount of followers and a physique and all of this bullshit. That's not true at all, bro. This is what YouTubers that are trying to sell you a course are going to tell you to obviously sell you the fucking course. I'm here to tell you that no course is going to allow you to become what you need to be until you become the version of you that you need to become. No course that you buy is going to be able to teach you something that you couldn't teach yourself unless you actually try. You feel me? And this is what I say when I say in all my videos, until you sit down with yourself, until you tell yourself from now on, this is how life is going to go for me. I don't care what happens. I don't care who leaves. I don't care what trials and tribulations I have to go through. I'm going to go through this. Once again, the only way out is through. Only way out of pain is through. The only way out of lust is through. The only way out of hardship is through. Because every time you try to hit a U-turn, right? Every time you try to turn around and go back, you always end up worse off than you were. Every time you try to go back to that girl, you're going to end up worse than you already are and more empty. Every time you draw back to that habit, whether it be drinking, smoking, whatever, right? You're always going to end up worse than you were. Because why? Because now you're getting reconsumed. Like I always say, bro, there's entities and demonic presences working at all times, bro. We're literally in the spiritual warfare. This is why I say you got to be hip, bro. And I'm not saying this shit to fear monger or anything like that. I'm just making sure you're on game, bro. You have to be self-aware of what you are doing. You have to be self-aware of what you are saying. You have to be self-aware of the activities that you are participating in at all times, no matter what the fuck you doing, bro. Because once again, this is what's going on. That is what's going on. So, like I said, bro, don't be afraid to be you, bro. Don't be afraid to walk this path. Don't be afraid of what's coming. You feel me? This is a beautiful thing. This is a fantastic thing. This is a thing that I promise you is going to change your life, bro. And it's going to change your life for the better. It's going to change your life. And when it all falls down, you're going to realize that you choosing you was the best decision you ever could have made, bro. You choosing you was the best decision you ever could have made, bro. And I just wanted to give y'all this video right quick. This came on my heart. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? The Most High put this on my heart. So I really just wanted to get it to y'all right quick. I wanted to tap in with y'all. Like I said, whenever I get downloads, I just want to go ahead and give them to y'all. But moral of the story is, when you learn to be alone, you learn to love. When you learn to love, you learn to offer. And when you learn to offer, you learn to be the ultimate individual. And the ultimate individual meaning the highest version of yourself. Once again, bro, when you learn to be alone, you learn to love. When you learn to love, you learn to give. When you learn to give, bro, you literally cracked this whole matrix, bro. Nothing could ever fuck with you. Nothing could ever dismantle you. Nothing could ever deteriorate you, bro, because you know that you're literally holding the remote and the controller to this thing that we call life. You're literally playing your game and doing everything you need to do to be exactly who you need to be. So, like I said, bro, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Keep going. Keep staying consistent. Keep grinding. Whatever you doing in this life, bro, make sure you give it 100%. Whatever you got going on, don't give up on that shit. Whatever you want to do, don't give up on it. Take that leap of faith. Do it. Whatever you got to do to get it done, do that shit. Because once again, your life is already aligned, bro. Literally. Your life in its entirety is already set up for you, bro. You are going to be great. You are going to be phenomenal. But you have to make the decision. Once again, we are judged by only one thing and one thing only. Our decisions. Nothing else. This is why I say nobody can judge you, my nigga. You can't really make a mistake that people can judge you for, because mistakes make us great. And our decisions are simply the only thing that deteriorate us and dare us off the path. So, once again, bro, like I said, for the new people watching this video, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. My links is down below. My TikToks, my IGs, you feel me? All that shit in there, man. Tap in, you feel me? If you fucking with the content, you know what I'm saying? But I love y'all, man. I can't express that shit enough, man. I'm gone.